So now we're going to do number 21 from the chapter 2 practice statements and reasons. That's homework number 16. So in number 21, they give you a completed proof and then you just have to answer some questions about it. So let's go through the proof together. They start you out with 1 here and 4 here are the same, and 2 and 3 are also the same. Somehow they get to this step, and if you look at it, it's really, they even tell you it's addition here for the reason. So that means that the way addition works in a proof is I give you something like A equals B and C equals D, and then you add straight down to get a new line, A plus C equals B plus D. That's the way, this would be the addition property of equality right here. This step is where it occurs. So if we look at that, that's exactly what happens in our proof. We've got 1 and 2 on this side give us this when we add, and 3 and 4 give us that when we add. Okay. So let's put that on hold for now. I'll come back to that later. Now we've got 1 plus 2. These two angles put together form AFC. Okay? And 4 and 3 put together give us EFC. And the student or whoever wrote this says it's true because of the angle addition postulate. Well, okay, the angle addition postulate says two angles next to each other add together to get the big angle. Okay, that's perfect. The next step says AFC equals EFC, right? The measurements are the same. Well, you might notice that that's this angle and this angle right here. And if you go back one more step, well, 1 and 2 right here is AFC, and 3 and 4 is EFC. So really what we're doing is this one turns into that, and this one turns into that. And the reason we're allowed to replace them is because of step 3. Step 3 says 1 and 2 is the same thing as AFC, so I can plug in AFC for 1 and 2. And step 3 also says 4 and 3 adds up to EFC. So I'm allowed to take this 4 and 3 and replace it down here with the EFC. Okay. Now the last line says, so let me clear up the picture. Right now we're at this point. This whole angle equals this whole angle. So the last step says AE is now perpendicular. This one is now perpendicular to this one. And look at the reason. If two lines form congruent adjacent angles, that's what we have in step 4. Two lines forming congruent adjacent angles, then the two lines are perpendicular. Okay, here's the perpendicular part. Alright, so now let's answer our questions. Why addition is used as the reason in step 2? Well, really what we're doing is we're taking the two equations in step 1 and combining them to get step 2. So we're just adding straight down. Right? And that's the addition property. So add the two equations in step 1 to each other. Something like that would be a good explanation. The other one says, explain how substitutions use in step 4. Well, step 4 is really the same as step 2. But what we're doing is we're taking the terms in step 2, using them with 3 to figure out what we can replace them with, and then in step 4 we actually replace them. So, and we can say, and step 3 lets us substitute new terms, let's say simpler terms, for the, let's see, how can we phrase this? Step 4 is really the same as step 2, and step 3 lets us substitute new simpler terms in step 4. right? That's the idea of turning the 1 plus 2 into the AFC and the 4 plus 3 into the EFC. It's because we said that those are the same thing in step 3. Without step 3, we're not allowed to do the substitution yet. Okay, hope this helps.